We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
Learn the code while the city slept tight. Now I'm slanging lines that spark like late night. From Python webs to TypeScript skies, React in my veins and APIs that rise. Keyboard clacking, I'm stacking gold. Syntax flows like stories untold. Drinking caffeine, I'm breathing in code. From morning dawn till the night unfolds.
My code goes long. My code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits. Better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time.
In the hustle jungle where the bites meet steel. Digital canvas where I paint and feel. JavaScript whispers in the code I weave. Tech dreams blossom in the lines I conceive. Lines so slick they can't be caught. Variables twisting every plot. Python powers every thought. JavaScript legit hitting the right spot.
My code goes long. My code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits. Better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time.
Stacks on stacks, build my empire tall. Debugging dreams where the errors fall. Lines of brilliance break the darkest night. Script so dope, you can see me in the light. TypeScript magic on my fingertips. React's a canvas where logic flips. API dances, syncing clips. My code's a song where data drips.
My code goes long. My code goes deep. Caught in the stream where the data don't sleep. Need my digits. Better call my line. Slanging massive code like it's story time. We're slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
We're slanging massive code.
We slanging massive code.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How is everybody doing today? Hopefully everyone is doing phenomenal. I am Techotroff. We are engineered to win. We are getting started a little bit later than usual today, but it's been a crazy weekend. I'm going to share some of that with you as we get into the show. But I just wanted to say welcome into everybody. I see we have a lot of people already in the building. Shout out to Bozito Coding Journey. I am looking forward to having a conversation with Bozito very soon. Most likely it's going to be on a Tuesday night, but I met him on IG and just looking at some of his videos, some of his journey that he's going through, absolutely fascinating. So we're going to get into that. We are finally back to working on Kubernetes, working on getting our secrets thing. Honestly, it's been almost a month since we worked on it, so I had forgot a lot of what we worked on. So I had to go back and look at the last show that we worked on this to try to get a quick little recap. I know we're trying to get our secrets to work within work within our Kubernetes cluster, all that good stuff. We're going to get to it. We are going to get to it. You know what? let me go and do this now because I'm telling you, I would have totally forgotten. Let me get my Terraform. Oh, what software did I use for this? WebStorm. Because it's been so long, I forgot how long it actually takes to run the Terraform for the cluster. So I'm gonna go ahead. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now, and then we're gonna get into the agenda. We're gonna get to the show. You know how we do. You know how we do it. All right. And why not? Why not? I just share it with you. Why not? I just share it with you because where did it go? All right. I'm just gonna share it with you. We're gonna get a quick and early start. I'm not even gonna put the timer for this because I still have to get to the agenda. But this is important that we do so we don't waste a bunch of time. All right. So let's go over here, and we're just gonna go into. Let's see. We're going to say Terraform. We're going to go to where is our cluster? Is that our cluster right here? Yep. So we're going to go to Terraform plan. Because if we don't do this, it's going to take us forever. So this is to enable our cluster. Yep. All right, let's do this. Terraform. Apply. Yes. And bada bing, bada boom. We have our secrets manager enabled. All right, cool. Perfect. So now let's start the show. Welcome to another episode of Software Explorations. We are going to jump into working on Terraform secrets. Trying to get our Google Cloud secret that we have set in there into our Kubernetes cluster so that we don't have to be passing variables around in code like the bug bite episode that we're going to be talking about an XAI employee leaking API keys, all right, for our large language model. Crazy stuff, all right? With that being said, let me dive into our to our agenda for today. You know, we got our 2 hours timer going. Let me be the first to say thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel and to the followers on X2, but to the followers on Twitch as well. I am putting some more focus in on Twitch because I want that platform to also grow. I have not been doing a good job keeping up with the Twitch platform. So I am focusing on that. I have some very, very new and cool features that I have implemented. I was working on it yesterday, so much that I forgot my own Premiere, but working on that is going to be really, really cool. You're going to see some notifications coming from the Twitch platform about raids and new followers, just so I can properly acknowledge all of my friends on that platform as well. All right. So thanks to the new subscribers on YouTube, to the new subscribers, to the old subscribers, those who watch from the clouds, those who watch and are very active in the chat and in the comments. Every last one of you guys, Twitch, X, YouTube, I appreciate every last one of you.
I appreciate you.
And I want to give a special shout out to a couple of people. First and foremost, so last week we were working on deploying that event software using tasks, like using what do you call it, the ECS tasks and stuff like that. And I clipped it up, put a clip out of it, and Miss Newton actually watched that clip and gave me some commentary that's going to help me a lot with some work that I'm doing this week. It was really cool. I really appreciate it. So I just wanted to give a special shout out to that because that was very, very helpful. And I want to give another special shout out to Magnetar, who inside of the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon yesterday, he led us through the ins and outs of federal employment. He spoke about signing up for usajobs.gov, not .com, but .gov, how to know what to apply for, how to do some negotiating and stuff like that. We were on for about 2 hours in a Google Meet. I have that video. I'm going to be cutting it up and putting it into small pieces inside of the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon, but just special shout out to Magnetar. And lastly, which goes into the show that we're going to be doing tonight on the Half Guard Halfy YouTube channel, talking about jiu-jitsu. Shout out to Justin, who does movie reviews. based on his movie review of the movie Killing Him Softly. I watched it yesterday. It was an absolutely crazy movie, as he reviewed. Very, very good review. Very, very good movie. Crazy movie. But I just wanted to say shout out to Justin as well. All right. But I appreciate every last one of you guys. You guys are the absolute best. Another salute to my to the Tech Coach off Patreon, my tech barbarians, my technical explorers, my tech project members. You guys are the absolute best for all your support and all of your hard work day in and day out.
We the best.
And lastly, shout out to, and certainly not least, shout out to my tech mercenaries. Those are the YouTube channel members who allow me to come here day in and day out to learn on YouTube and to share my learning experience with you. Let's get it, y'all.
Let's get it.
All right. Quick announcements. Our next upcoming show, that I'll be a part of, is going to be tonight on the Half Guard Halfy channel. I will drop that link in the chat if I have it. I should have it somewhere. I will drop that link in the chat. But we're going to be going live talk. We're going to be reviewing. We're going to be doing a throwback episode. We're going to be looking at our very, very first competition matches, and we're going to be reviewing that. It's going to be me, Henry, Naum, and yours truly, Justin, is going to be there as well, reviewing our very, very first competition matches from about 4 years ago, some of us 5 years ago, right? That's the Half Guard Halfy channel. Come check us out over there. It's going to be really, really fun. We're going to be going live tomorrow morning. We're going to be working on large language models. We're going to be finishing up. I think we're done with it. I think we're going to move to day 2 because we had some issues with the Gemini bot, but I think we're done with day 1. We're going to move on to day 2 of week 2 so we can keep it moving. And then tomorrow we're going to be premiering our Candid Conversations at noon Eastern time. I'm going to be piggybacking off of Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, Be Precise in Your Speech rule, and expound, and from my perspective, why that is a really, really important rule and how it has so many benefits or consequences to so many different aspects of life, of work, of friendships, of relationships. Being precise in your speech is very, very important. I'm going to expound on that. All right. So those are our upcoming shows. Of course, we're going to be doing our Tech Q&A live on Tuesday night, but you guys already know that, and we'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. But that is what we have upcoming immediately. I don't want to overwhelm you, and you will see it premiered. You'll see the schedule when it's scheduled. All right. So with that being said, let's get ready to go. Let me check the chat, and then we will get to our very first segment of work. So first and foremost, we got Bozito Coding Journey in the building. Says, let's go, coach. Shout out to Bozito. I'm telling you, his content production quality is amazing, and I am looking forward to your journey, and I wish you the best in all that you do, and I'm following along, and we're in talks, right? We got my guy demystifies in the building. What's up, demystifies? It's good afternoon, Ralph. Hope all is well. I am doing phenomenal. Hopefully you are as well. Let's see. We got Roxy in the building. Says, hey, I'm the cleanup crew. What's up, Roxy? We got Rock the Scrubs Roxy in the building. We got, let's see. We got my, on the Twitch side of the game. What's up, Twitch? Got my guy Maddox in the building. Says, hello, team. Good afternoon to you, Maddox. Hopefully you are doing phenomenal. And like I said, I'm really trying to grow that Twitch side of the game because it is another platform and another group of people that we can reach so that we can provide phenomenal content. All right. Let's see. demystifies says that it's about to head to the garage and shoot some videos. I'm trying to get myself motivated. Let's go. Let's get demystifies motivated. You got this, demystifies. You got this. Roxy says, good afternoon to Techo Drop and Bozito. Good afternoon to you as well, Roxy. Hopefully you're doing phenomenal. I know yesterday you had to sign off to get to work. Hopefully you had a great night at work, and hopefully everything is going good for you. All right. Roxy says, think about how accomplished you will feel when the video is done to Memysify. Exactly. Let's get it, Memysify.
Let's get it.
Let's get it, Memysify. Memysify is totally right about this part. Recording is the easy part. That's a fact, right? The editing, that is a whole other story. And you know, that's why I would much rather go live over pre-recording and then having to edit it. Like I'd rather fail in real time and then I will chop it up as necessary. But when you get to record it, you get to like try to perfect it, and it's just a nightmare. I'm sure. Shout out to Rod Brown from the Nurturing Word. I premiered the video that conversation that we had yesterday. The conversation that we had on Tuesday, I premiered it yesterday about Shador Sanders and cultural fits and stuff like that. That was very, very fun. But editing is a nightmare. I know what you mean. All right. Let me see. Max says, if you could put up a schedule when you stream here and YouTube, that would be appreciated. I thought I did have a schedule up on Twitch, but I will revisit that and make sure I did have a schedule, but I don't know if something happened to it, but I will double check that and we'll go from there. But great idea.
We the best.
Let's see. Bozito says, thank you, coach. Quality is good because I'm a videographer as well. What? That is absolutely awesome. The content is following what I'm studying to memorize, it. And my best friend ChatGPT creates a topic and the script. I'm telling you, you gotta use the tools to your advantage, which is gonna be part of my first break time topic, right? But yeah, that's basically it, right? With that being said, let's jump into our very first topic of conversation. Whoa, what just happened? What? We got Melissa 9080 from the Twitch side of the game who has just followed. Shout out to Melissa. I am putting a lot more focus on the Twitch side of the game. And, you know, we're going to do what we do. We're going to do what we do. All right. So let's get into it. So today, learning DevOps secrets and Kubernetes, getting our secrets to work with Kubernetes, right? Let's go to, let me put up our first 20 minutes, right?
It's time to do.
Let me go over to, so this is not done yet for some weird reason. I thought it would be done already. It has its things. What I'm going to do while this is happening, I am going to pull up our, by the way, it is rainy out here. Hopefully we don't have any thunder. Hopefully I don't lose any power. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. Let's see. Let me go to console.google. Let's go over here and let's see what's going on. I don't know why this thing is taking so long. Let's go to GKE. And then, because it's been so long, I'm going to have to start looking up, how to do this stuff. Let's see. What project are we in? Because I know we have this enabled for, let me see. I'm in the wrong project. I need to be inside of the Urban Dictionary of Economic Data. It's on. Let's go to manage maybe. Okay, let's go to, let's try that again. All right, there we go. GKE cluster. Where's my GKE? Kubernetes engine. All right, there we go. I see it here, but it is not done yet. This cluster is being created, and this is why like it's been 13 minutes already, and it's still not done. I don't know what's taking so long. Health check. So configuring is done, deploying is done. Health checks not yet. Let's see what errors were. Readiness probe, some random IP address. Oh wait, so this all right. This is a long time ago, so not a big deal. Just waiting for the health checks, honestly. All right, so while we're waiting for that to be done, let's go and start doing some research. You know how we do here. We do research. Let's do. Let's take a look for. Because it's been a while. Let's do importing or using GKE or using Google secrets in GKE. What do they call them in deployments? All right, so we've been through all this documentation. And consuming Google Secrets Manager in GKE. All right, so let's take a look at that one. We looked at this before from 2021. I don't know why it's taking so long. Directly fetching secrets from Google Secrets Manager using the API. This is the most secure option. Secrets live in memory on the pod and are never written to the file system. This option can leverage workload identity so that the workload option has access to the secret it needs. Google provides libraries for GSM for major programming languages. The pros. Most secure option, secrets remain in memory, calls the Google Secrets Manager API are HTTPS protected. Supports workload identity for fine-grained access and audit logs. Cons, hard to adopt for OTS, off-the-shelf apps. More code to maintain. There's a risk the app would log its environment variable, exposing the secrets to the logs. All right, that doesn't sound that like it's that great. That's too good. This part right here, it says, using Kubernetes Secret Store CSI driver. Let's see what other options that we have. So the Kubernetes Secret CSI container storage interface is a native upstream Kubernetes driver that can be used to abstract where the secret is stored from the workload. It's very similar to how CSI drivers for volumes work. Apps don't have to care what kind of disk is used to provision the volume. So from what I recall, it seems like we're trying to get those secrets onto the actual pod, which is running the container. All right, pros, Kubernetes native way for fetching secrets, supports reloading the secrets when it's rotated without having to restart the pod, as long as the app supports this. Open source driver and controllers that you have to install and maintain. Using using external secrets. Kubernetes external secrets is an upstream OSS tool that can fetch. I don't know. Let's go back. I'm not feeling this one. And it's an old article as well. Use Secret Manager add-on. Wait, let's take a look at this one. Is this thing done yet? Why is it taking so long? That doesn't make any sense. It's been 17 minutes since it's tried to start. What gives? Why is it taking so long? I'm about to stop it and start it over again. Jeez. But if I do that, then I'm going to have a whole world of other issues with Terraform. It says healthy. Is it done? It's still not done. So weird. That is weird. That is so weird. Anyways. Let's keep reading. So use Secrets Manager add-on with Google Kubernetes. So we have that. We have that as part of our code. If we look at our code, we have the Secrets Manager config enabled is true. So that's good. Let's go back over here. So we have that. the Secrets Manager add-on has the following limitations. The Secrets Manager add-on doesn't support the following feature that is available in the open source secret store, CSI driver. Sync as Kubernetes secret. The Secret Manager doesn't support Windows Server nodes. Okay. Before you begin, enable the Secrets Manager and the Google Kubernetes Engines API. I think we already have that, right? Maybe that's why it's getting stuck. No, I think we have that enabled. Let's take a look. Let's say Secrets Manager. Yep, it's enabled, and we have 2 secrets in there. We have the one that we did from Terraform as well. So that's not the issue. Let's go back. I don't know why it's taking so long. That's so weird. Let me do GCP Kubernetes Cluster health check taking forever. GKE health check taking a long time or filling can be caused by various factors, including network issues, misconfigured firewall rules, or problems with the backend application responding to the health check. There is no backend application. We're just starting this thing up now. That makes no sense. There's nothing starting on it. That makes no sense. Anyways, eventually, or let's say, how long does creating Kubernetes cluster take to time out? Kubernetes API server requests timeout should not. That's not my question. I don't know. That's weird. It's been 20 minutes. It's still nothing. Like, at some point, you got configuring, deploying, health check. Can I just like stop the health check maybe? Kubernetes service. Let's see. Just looking at these cluster logs over here. Things are working on there. It's just that stupid health check is not done yet. Okay. Anyways, while that is doing its thing, ensure your cluster runs on this. Enable these. So we have that enabled through Terraform. Let's see. We're not worried about that. Configure applications to authenticate to the Secrets Manager API. So I think where we were, all right. So we did create a new Kubernetes namespace. We had that over. All right. So we'll take a look at the code to see the namespace. Apply the Kube apply service account. Create an IAM policy that references the new Kubernetes secrets account and grants it permission to access the secrets. Okay. Use an existing Kubernetes secret account. Service account. Create a new Kubernetes service account or use an existing Kubernetes service account. All right, so what we are going to do is we're going to go into the code and I don't know if we could do this because we don't have the clusters. Still not. I'm getting on my last nerves over here. It's really annoying me. Anyways, let's go ahead and we're going to go here. We are going to say, I honestly forgot all the code to initiate this Kubernetes stuff. What was it? It was, let me see if I can remember. G Cloud. I honestly don't remember that. All right, well, let's go back over here. I do not remember this code whatsoever. It's if you don't use it, you will lose it. Create Kubernetes cluster. Let's see, or on GKE. All right, so you look at that. But you can always go back to your trusty documentation. All right, so we are at create the cluster, and I need to, so it's containers, all right. It's not the create, but it's the get credentials. So gcloud, container, clusters. Oh, let me go back over here so you can see what I'm doing. Clusters, get credentials, and GKE. No, what's the name? What was the name of my UDEC dash GKE dash cluster and dash dash location US East 1. Let's see. The cluster is not running. The Kubernetes API may or may not be available. Check the cluster status for more information. That is very, very unfortunate. All right. So, all right. Well, a little bit of a, we're in a little bit of a pickle, aren't we? I don't know why you're not starting. How do I stop a cluster that refuses to start? Let me see. Terraform, cancel, apply. Cancel Terraform apply gracefully to immediately do a Terraform destroy. That's not a great answer. I mean, it's not great. I just don't feel like answering or reading through it. How to terminate a Terraform apply. The Terraform destroy command terminates a resource managed by your Terraform. This command is the inverse of a Terraform apply. How to Terraform cancel apply. I know if I type in Control C, the Terraform apply, plan or apply, the running Terraform process sent int signal, which instructs Terraform to end its work, update state for any resources that have been changed, and wrap up the safest way possible. I don't know. It's been 26 minutes. All right, no, I'm gonna regret this. Control C. All right, wait. Gracefully shutting down. Execution halted. Let me do another Terraform plan. See if I get any errors. But I'm also gonna have to go and check over here to see what's happening with it. This really sucks. I can't delete it because it was never completed. I might just create a whole new cluster name, to be honest. Because it doesn't make any sense that it's doing what it's doing. It should have just started up as normal. It's a simple Terraform apply. All right. I am. Don't even know how to delete it from here. Very strange. let's see here. Not all right. So error waiting for resuming GKE cluster. Error while retrieving operation. Unable to finish polling. I am going to give this a new name. I don't know what to do. Do a Terraform plan. See if anything happens. Makes no sense. Yep. This was unexpected, but you know how it goes. This can happen. This could happen anyone, anytime. And it's not even give. All right, so let's do a little bit of Google search. This is a great opportunity to figure out new crap. So Terraform plan stuck at refreshing state after control. Ooh, what is this? Control C. Terraform stuck on refreshing. I didn't really say that, but let's go. Let me see. Let's see if we do Control C. Terraform help. Let's see. Update the state to match remote. Validate. Check whether configuration is valid. Plan. Show required changes. Apply. Destroy. Can I do Terraform destroy? I don't think so. It says resource temporary unavailable. Terraform acquires a state lock to protect the state from being written by multiple users at the same time. Please resolve the issue above and try again. The most common, for most commands, you can disable locking with a refresh. Update the state to match the remote system.
Lunch break, lunch break.
Let's do a Terraform refresh while we're here. Nope. Lock equals false. I really don't know what it wants us to do in this case. Yeah, once I saw it started taking forever, I had a bad feeling of what was going to happen. And it's still stuck on Google's side. Like, and I can't even delete it. Before you can delete it, because it must be fully set up and not being deleted. Yeah, there's... I'm not sure if this is ever going to come up. So I have to make sure Google doesn't charge me for this, because the health checks are stuck. This is not good. All right, well, whatever. It looks like we're gonna get derailed again, because we're gonna have to figure this out in a whole totally separate way.
Bruh.
When technology fails you. Let's go to full screen. Talking about technology is going to be interesting about my first break time point. But let's check the chat first to see if there's anything new, and then we will get back to work. All right. Let's see. Nothing new. But Demystifies says, my entire platform is based in long form edited videos.
Bruh.
That is very true. And the things that Demystify works on, especially like with the audio type stuff, so many moving pieces, so many clips to put together and cut up. Yeah, I can see why it can be a little bit tough to get back to it because it is so many moving pieces that you have to work on. I hear you, Demystify. All right, first break time topic for today is technology optimizes workflows. So, what do I mean by this? Well, let me put up our first timer to get back to work. So, yesterday I was out and about and there was this event for kids mainly, but it was the city of, I'm not sure if it was Broward or that was putting it on, or if it was the city of Pompano Beach, but they had this event where they were showing off all of the different tools and equipments that they use. So they had different police cars there. So they had like the SWAT tank, I guess I would call it. They had fire trucks, like the paramedics truck. They had the like bulldozers and excavators and stuff like that. So we took our son over there, and just seeing different things. But something that really stood out to me, right? When I was we were walking by one of the BSO Broward Sheriff's Office stands, and they had a big sign that said unmanned. What do they call it? Unmanned. Let me make sure what they call it. But it's like unmanned something but it's for drones. Unmanned aircrafts, right? They call it unmanned aircrafts. So we stopped by because I have a little small drone that I play with every now and then, and I was so we're talking, and they have a video of how they're using the drone technology to help and assist in their work. So I'm talking to the person who's the head of the unit, and so I said, like, okay, well, how does it work? And he said, well, basically we have newer updated drones, and that basically, whenever something's happening and we're needed, we can use them for whatever it is that we need. But basically, we put them up in the air, and we do our job. We follow. Let's say there is a standoff inside of a home, right? And it's like, okay, well, we could put a drone up, and it can monitor. We can have two drones on site and put them up for as long as necessary, because we can rotate them every 2 hours, rotating drones, one in, one out, based on like the battery and charging and stuff like that. I was like, wow, that's pretty fascinating. And I asked the question, okay, well, what do you need to do to become one of these drone operators? And he was breaking it down to me, and I was like, wow, that is like, the technology that is being implemented and applied is fascinating to me, because, so he said, like, basically you have to be a deputy already, right? You have to already be a deputy in order to be able to work with his team with the drones. And then what's going to happen is they will train you. They're gonna take you through I think it's an 80-hour course, right? Where they're going to train you to get the FAA certification that you need to be able to fly drones. Because with the FAA, they have a like, if a drone is over half a pound, you need to get certified in order to be able to fly it. All right. So there's a bunch of rules that go into it and stuff like that. But so they're going to help you get that certification. Once you get that certification, then they're going to do another whole week-long training with you and how to use the system that they use for the work that they do, right? And I was like, wow, that's really impressive. Something that came to mind when thinking about that is, so if you've ever watched Cops back in the day or any other, cop show, they have the helicopters that are monitoring and following and stuff like that. And I was like, this technology where you can have as many drones as you want, and it can be doing like surveillance. It could be, doing what used to need a helicopter to do, which some stuff still require a helicopter, but a lot of stuff, like let's say a helicopter is hovering over an area, somebody's on foot. The drone is able to do it now. And I was like, that is absolutely fascinating. And what he was telling me is with the new drones that they've gotten, there is infrared technology. There is nighttime capability. There's zooming in. The old drones that they had, there was no zooms. The infrared technology
Back
was.
to work. Chop, chop. Let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work. Back to work. Back to work.
The infrared technology was lacking, and he's like, yeah, we got some brand new drones. We're done with all the outdated stuff. We got some brand new drones, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. He was explaining to me that, so let's say they only have one helicopter, so they have 40 drones, but one helicopter. So the way that they would prioritize it is, if there is some type of emergency happening, right? If there's some type of emergency happening, then they will based on what the emergency is like. So let's say it's a high speed chase. The helicopter is over a standoff at a house. They will take the helicopter and put it on the high speed chase because of the speed that a helicopter can follow a car a lot faster than a drone can. And then they will take the drones and they will bring it over to the house or wherever the standoff is. And maybe it's like a bank robbery or something like that. And they'll just be hovering over there watching for stuff. And the thing is with drones as well, they can go in a lot closer than a helicopter can. So I'm like, wow, like this technology is optimizing so many different workflows where you can have the helicopter doing this mission over there, and then you can have 40 different drones that you can put across the county, the city, whatever, and they are doing work that a helicopter could do, but it's much more efficient and optimal to have a drone do it. Amazing! Like, I was highly impressed. One thing he did tell me is that, so with the new drones that they got in, they have so right now, so if you are in BSO right now, they have 40 available drones, right? However, they only have 10 people qualified to fly those drones at the moment, and you still do your regular job, but you can use it on your regular job, the drone that's assigned to you. But if they need you in a different location, because they'll send you there as well. So I was like, wow, this is really, really cool. If I was young and I was looking for something, I'm like, you know what, I don't know if I'll become a police officer, but I'm like, well, maybe I come. I'm like, I could. Oh, it finally crashed out. Great. I'm like, I could see where I can use that and then join these different teams, and it's just so many cool stuff. Like, the technology is empowering many different aspects of life, and I think that is absolutely fascinating. All right. Anyways, that was my thoughts from my observations yesterday at that event. Seeing how the police are using this technology to make their lives easier and to become more efficient, absolutely fascinating to me. All right. Anyways, let me get to the chat before we get back to work. Finally, this thing crashed out. All right, this is crazy. Anyways, let's see. Let me see who we got in the building. We have my guy Junior in the building. What's up? Junior says, what's up? What's good, Junior? How are you doing today? And Junior says, you need that FAA certification if the drone is over 250 grams. That's why DJI makes the mini version, which is only 249 grams, so you don't need that FAA certification to fly it. I shoot drone videos also. Junior, here's a question for you. did you know that? Did you know that in order to monetize your drone videos, to make a dime off your drone videos, you also need that FAA certification. Why do you think I don't have any drone videos playing on this channel? Because if it's monetized, they're gonna like the feds will come after you saying, hey, no, although your drone is under 250 grams, although it's 249 grams, you are using it for business, therefore ergo you need your certification. No soup for you. Bruh. It broke my heart, Junior. It broke my heart when I found that out. All right. It is what it is. So I said that at some point when Favor came back, I was going to get the name right. This is not the point. This is not the point. So welcome back. Favor says, finally caught another live. Hope you are well. I am doing absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you are well as well. Let's see. Ginger says, if you are young, you are young. I mean, I am too old to become a cop. I mean, if I could do it as a hobby to fly those drones, I would sign up in a heartbeat to do it as a hobby. But to go through the whole becoming a cop thing at my 41 years on this earth, I am past my time. All right. But if I could just fly the drones, like, hey, we need you over here to fly the. I'm like, all right, send me. Like, I don't want to. If I could do that, then I definitely would. All right. Let's see. It says, yes, I do know. I did not know until I got the drone, and I was hard. I'm like, are you serious? Any footage that I need? Oh my God. Like, I was heartbroken. It says, that's why I started studying. I have a lot of footage. Tell me about it. It says, oh no, today's not the day. It is not the day. I have not had enough practice yet. I'm still studying, all right? So it will come, just not today, all right? Just give me some grace. Give me some grace.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
All right. Anyways, let's get back to work. Let me not get myself in trouble trying to say names that I can't. I'm telling you, I was recording an episode of The Bug Bite before I started this show, and I got to this last name and this company name. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna call this person by their first name. I know it might be a little bit disrespectful. Maybe if I throw on Mr. in front of it, but I cannot say your last name for the life of me. I'm just gonna call you by their first name, all right? So thank you guys for having grace with me, all right? Anyways, let's get back to our second segment of work.
Let's go!
All right, so finally, after God knows how long, this thing crashed out. It said all cluster resources were brought up, but one node out of one were unhealthy. Why was it unhealthy? Is there any documentation on that? One node? What? That doesn't make any sense. Let's see. I want to know why. Let's see the logs. I don't see why it would be unhealthy. Whatever. Anyways, guess we'll try it again. Let me see. Actually, no. Let's go over here one last time. Let's go to clusters. And all clusters were brought up, but one node out of one are unhealthy. Let me see what that means. GKE, one node out of one unhealthy. Let me see what that means. A GKE node report 1 out of 1 is likely indicates that the single node in your cluster is experiencing issues such as failing health checks or not responding to the control plane. This could be due to a variety of reasons, including network problems, resource constraints or issues with the node's operating system. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna guess it's the node's operating system because I didn't do anything different. Let's go back over here. Let's see. No, let me see if there's anything for nodes. Let's do a how to start more than one node on GKE cluster. Add more than one node on a GKE cluster. You can either create a new node pool. Let's do Terraform. To create a GKE cluster with more than one node using Terraform, you can define initial node count with the attribute Google container within the Google Container Cluster resource. Alternatively, you can add multiple node pools with different initial node count. So I can say initial node count 3. Using multiple node pools for regional clusters. I think I'll go with the initial node count. Let's go with that. All right, so let's do that. Let's do initial node count. I'll go with 3, I guess. And I guess we can do a Terraform. Oh, God, I don't want to waste time doing this. Let me see. All right, so we have to deal with this lock. So when we try to do destroy, error waiting for resuming GKE cluster. All clusters were brought up, but what if I do a Terraform apply? We still have the lock equals false. All right, let's see if I can just delete it over here. Ultimately, I'd want to do it through Terraform, but let's just say udec-gke-cluster. Let's just delete that and let's let it do its thing. I am going to go over here. I'm just going to say, just add a 1, add it. I'm very annoyed right now. Let me do, there was another command. Let's do a refresh. Can't even do a refresh, great. Let's find out how to unlock Terraform. Let's see. Terraform acquires a state lock. Error acquiring state lock. Error, all right, error message, resource temporarily unavailable. Terraform. Error, resource temporarily unavailable. All right. All right. It says you are reaching out to a storage bucket that holds your state. If so, you are passing in the correct. If you previously run apply and terminate the operation. If so, there might be a default TF lock in the same prefix folder as the default TF state. You can manually go in your storage bucket and delete it. All right, let's go and check that out. Got to, let me see, Terraform. this one? Terraform TF state. I'm gonna rename this real quick. I'm not just gonna delete it out willy-nilly. Let's say back. And let's go and try to do that. Nope. No such file. All right, so I guess we can't rename it. I'm so confused here. Let's see. Let's see. Error. Let's go clear. I'm so confused by this. All right, let's just do this. All right, still getting this error. I swear, I will just create a whole new. Initiation. Let's go to. There's no. All right, so there's no clusters now. And let's see. Help untaint. Remove tainted state from resource instance. So let's try that. I'm just going to try different things now. So Terraform untaint. That sounds great. Untaint. Terraform uses taint to describe a resource instance which may not be fully functional either because its creation partially failed. This command removes the state from being a resource instance, causing Terraform to see it as a fully functional and not in need of replacement. This will not modify your infrastructure directly. It avoids Terraform planning to replace a tainted instance in the future. So what do you want us to do? Usage Terraform global option. All right, so let's do Terraform apply. Let me change this real quick. Terraform apply untaint. Failed to load. I just did what you said. What? Use Terraform taint to describe a resource instance that may not be fully functional, either because its creation partially failed. So let's see, Terraform taint. All right, let's. Stupid Terraform issues. All because Google Cloud failed us, I tell you. How does Terraform taint and untaint work? Terraform untaint is the opposite of no, really, right? If a resource has been marked as taint, all right, let's Terraform taint work. Terraform taint marks a resource as potentially degraded or damaged. So in essence, Terraform taint does the following: marks a resource as tainted. During the next Terraform apply, the taint resource will be destroyed. And when to use Terraform taint or -replace. When the resource is functioning incorrectly but its configuration hasn't changed, Terraform taint or replace. Test. Let's see. Let's see. What is this replace thing? Destroy previously created infrastructure. Mark a resource as not fully functional. So if I do Terraform, taint. So I can't do taint because the address is usually the resource address syntax such as, oh, okay. Okay. So let's do Terraform, apply, taint, and then let's do Google Container Cluster, and it would be dot default. Expected at most one positional argument. So what do they mean by, all right, all right, Terraform, taint, AW. All right, so Terraform, all right, Terraform, taint. Okay, so let's try that. So I guess I got confused by what they meant by global option. I don't know what that means. Terraform, taint, and then Google Container Cluster dot default. And so yes, we have two things. We have two things that's going. We have the lock that's annoying us, and we have the so let's copy that and Terraform. Go to Reddit. Where do you store your state file? You just need to go there and break the lease of the state file. Example for Azure. It's stored in S3. Also, what would be the case? So locally, I don't know if mine is in S3 or locally. Let's try. So let's try to do this. Terraform force unlock lock ID. Let's try that. See if we have it here. Terraform force unlock lock ID. Local state cannot be unlocked by another process. What the? Well, now we copy this. We go back to the Google and say local state cannot be. All right. According to the reference, manually unlock the state is defined configuration, will not modify your infrastructure. Apparently, the execution plan is processing the plan output file locally and being applied on the second phase of the Terraform steps. Make sure the file name is the same in phase 1 and phase 2. Let's see. That does not help me at all. Unable to, while the interface for all state locks is the same, they are implemented on storage. If you have a local state file, Terraform can unlock it from the outside process holding the lock. The way to unlock the file would be to stop the Terraform process which currently using the state file. I could have sworn we did that already. Let me see. Let's take a look at see here. Let's see. No. Well, I think I have another option. I'm just gonna say number one, this is stupid. Number two, we are just going to say new file or new directory, GKE2. Just in the for the essence of time, we're gonna say put this in here, and we're gonna say cd cd GKE2 ls. So we're gonna do Terraform in it. And simple as that, we're just gonna create a whole new Terraform thing. This is stupid. Like I just wasted a whole entire show just because Google Cloud Cluster was not acting correctly. All right, let's go and do. Whoa. Look at that. Shout out to Miss B Peace over on the Twitch side of the game. Thank you so much for following. All right, let's go and do. All right, let's go and do Terraform plan. Look at that. Look at that. I know I cheated, but this was not supposed to be about Terraform and Google.
Lunch break.
And Google Kubernetes acting up. So before I go to break, I am just gonna go and kick off this plan, and hopefully by me setting it up to have 3 initial node counts, that will help the application or the cluster get started. That way. It takes 10 minutes. We'll be during break and we can go from there. Right. So I am going to say Terraform apply. And I am going to say yes. Hopefully Google gets its act together today. And we have an issue, unfortunately. All right, let me see if I can fix this real quick. What is this issue? Autopilot clusters must have initial node count of 1 in their default pool. Set to 3. Tell me about it. Let me just. I see what. Oh, this is how they get you. Because if I say a node count of 1 and then we have the issue again, then we're gonna just be wasting away the whole show. Which, if that's what happens, then that's what happens. But let me see. Just give me a few extra seconds. So yes, for autopilot clusters, the initial node count in the default node pool is typically set to 1. This is because autopilot clusters are designed to be fully managed. Well, whatever. What the hell ever. Let's just take that out and we shall see what happens. Who knows? Who knows? I am just disgusted right now. Would this happen? So here's a question, Google, and I love Google, by the way. I don't believe the federal government should be suing you, but Google, would this happen on AWS? Would this happen on AWS? What is this error now? Autopilot clusters must have initial node count of 1. I thought that's what I had. Let's see. Oh, you know what's going on? All right, I have the wrong files open. That's why, because I'm in the old files. All right, there we go. Let's go to take that line out. Let's take that line out and let's apply. Yes. Good luck. Good luck to creating this cluster after wasting about the first hour of the show. Let's see what happens, all right? But we're going to go to break. We are going to go to break. Let me check the chat, and then we will get to our second break, which I don't know if I ever spoke about this this LinkedIn article, but you know, it is what it is. All right. We have from Bozito Coding Journey says, Coach, how is a real life day as a QA engineer? I've been studying, working on projects and etc., but I'm curious to know how it all applies in real life inside a company / project. So I will answer your question, but I would love to talk about it a little bit more one-on-one with you, like when you're able to come onto the show, because there you might have some follow-up questions, but I'll say this. Basically, based on what you're testing, I'll give you my day-to-day, for example. Being that I'm a senior QA engineer, I might work on a little bit more advanced things, but basically the day I log into my laptop and I check to see the status of the stories that we have, and then we have our daily Scrum meeting or daily stand-up meeting. And the way that we do it is not where we just go through each person and they give an update. We do it based on our story numbers, or the stories that are in the sprint, and we will share what is our goal for today, like where we're at, what's our goal for today, and we'll add a goal to the ticket, and if we have any blockers, we'll talk about those. But basically, a day-to-day activity for me, it depends on the day. Sometimes some days are more meeting heavy, where we have like refinements and stuff like that. So preparing for that, looking at the stories we're going to be talking about. Some days we don't have a lot of meetings, and I get to really focus on work. But in general, working on test plans for the stories that are in the sprint, I collaborate with the developers to talk to them early, so that when they're developing, they can have in mind what I'm going to be looking to test. Preparing automated testing for either stories that are in the sprint or things that need to get automated. Reviewing results of our automated test. And once the story is actually ready to be tested, I kick off our automated test suites on the branch. We have like API tests, we have UI tests, we have integration tests that I kick off on the branch that the code is on, while I do some manual testing for the new functionality, so that I can be able to automate the new functionality. We have that. Let me see, what else is there? There's different meetings that I might have to go to outside of the team's work, where I might be on a committee here, a committee there. It might be like, a QA committee, whatever committees, right? Let me see, what else is there? And this is not just one day. I'm just like letting you know all the different things that might happen. Let's see. We have our Scrum days, where we have our sprint review, our sprint retrospective, our sprint planning, where we are sharing what we worked on, what we accomplished. We are looking back on on how the past 2 weeks went, and then we plan for the next 2 weeks. That is mainly what my day-to-day, like what I do during. So I don't look at it from a day-to-day perspective as much as a 2 week sprint perspective. And those are all the things that are going to be in there. Sometimes I am creating some infrastructure stuff for QA. Sometimes I'm contributing to like for instance, I've worked a lot with Terraform. I worked a lot with the Elastic Container Services. So I volunteered like, oh, I can like just so the developers can focus on like coding and stuff like that. Let me start off creating out the infrastructure, the Terraform, and then you can add whatever else you need to it. So that's some of the stuff that like. It just depends, right? It just depends on it's very, very dynamic. You're not like today's day and age, you're not just going to learn manual testing and then expect to find a manual testing job where you're just going to be like, all right, wait for them to say, all right, this is ready to test. And then now you just go through your executing your test cases. It is very, very dynamic. Many moving pieces that you need to be very well organized to make sure everything gets covered. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Favor says, is the issue state locking? It is, but I don't know. I've had like, I knew when I stopped the thing from running, I was gonna run into this issue. It's happened to me before. I don't know. Terraform can be very frustrating, honestly. I don't even blame Terraform for this, right? I blame Google Kubernetes Engine for not starting healthy, and from what I'm seeing here, it might happen, and hopefully it doesn't, right? Let's see. It says, I'd ask Chat GPT. I take the AI overview from Google as my Chat GPT, as it's finding information from different sources, and I can click on those sources. But I totally agree and understand what you're saying. It says, I know for AWS state locking would be achieved with a DynamoDB table. Oh, you know what? And I thought I was using AWS. I'm actually using Google. So the state lock must be local because for my AWS project, I think I was uploading it to S3. So that's a very good point. And shout out to you, Favor. You are very, very well informed in this DevOps type stuff. So that is super, super awesome. Let's see. Bozita says, thank you so much. Excited to join the show any Tuesday. Let me know how and when we can do it. You can join this coming Tuesday if you're free. I will. So on the show, it starts around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. And I have the link in the description of the show, of that particular show, on the Tuesday night shows, and it's pinned to the top of the chat. But I will also reach out to you on IG and send you a link just so you can have it. But yeah, feel free to join anytime. It says, I'm just a super curious person, excited to give the next step in my journey. I am excited as well. I love to see people putting in the effort. Favor says, I blame both. You know what? You are correct. You are correct. Because now that Google failed me, now Kubernetes is failing me, and it's just a big mess. It's a mess, right? I like the whole infrastructure as code thing, but they need to do a better job with this lock state. Question for you, Favor, because it seems like you are very well versed with Kubernetes. Not Kubernetes, probably Kubernetes, but with Terraform. Have you used the Terraform cloud? I use that. We use that at work, and so I've been getting familiar with it. It's pretty interesting. I know it's a paid thing, but I'm just wondering if you've used it. I only use it at work. Other than that, when I'm here, I'm doing it all locally and stuff like that. But I'm just curious if you ever used it. Let's see. Favor says, I was en route to cloud engineering, but I like the idea of IAM as a career. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. That is really, really cool too. Look into the different roles for IAM, because I think depending on the company, they might mix it in. They might put the cloud with the IAM. I know, like us, we end up creating our own IAM user. Like we have the ability through Terraform, like everything that has to be through Terraform, based on the environment. But we have the ability to create IAM roles, IAM users, access keys, things like that through Terraform as software engineers, as QA engineers, stuff like that. So, but yeah, definitely, I think IAM is really, really cool. And there's, lots of potential. Let's see. It says, never use Terraform Cloud. What's the difference? The difference is, it number one, it's managed by Terraform, of course, but when I do like a Terraform plan, oh sweet, it worked. When I do a Terraform plan, I need an API key, and it's gonna run the plan in the cloud, not on my local machine. In order to do an apply, it has to go through through the cloud, and it's integrated with GitHub, where like the way that our company set it up, once I do a push to GitHub, then the plan is gonna run again in Terraform Cloud, and then I have the ability, upon merging, I have the ability to apply the plan. So stuff that we do locally when learning it, there's a little bit more, I guess I would say restriction or oversight on the infrastructure that you're creating. So, but that's about it. It says, are you familiar with TerraGrunt? The answer is no, but as I was looking on how to fix this issue, I saw something about TerraGrunt, so that is on my list of things to figure out. It says not the sigh. Just because when I was trying to use it, I'm like, all right, Terraform plan, and it was like, oh, you got to go and do this whole configuration, and then have to push stuff to it's whatever. Anyways. Enough of that. Let's get to our second break time conversation, and then we will get back to work. But good news. The cluster was successfully created this time, so we will be able to continue on. Although we lost pretty much most of the show, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see what else we got going on. What? Shout out to Seta Sante. Just subscribe on the YouTube side of the game. Thank you so much. All right. Let's get going. Let's get to the second break time topic. I've been talking a lot. All right. So, no feedback from interviews? Well, Bozito, on your journey, you're going to see that although you will ask for feedback, a lot of places are not going to be willing to give you feedback, and you're going to see why, right? But this is the link. I don't know if I shared this already, right? But this is a LinkedIn post, right, that somebody put. We're going to review that together. Let me pull that up. Let's put up our 5-minute timer. And let's go over to here. So it says, this one says, I've posted this before and I guess it's time to post it again. Why don't companies give detailed feedback to a rejected job applicant? Drum roll, please. Don't mind if I do. It's the fear of getting sued. All it takes is a small percentage of litigious-minded job seekers to make companies clam up when it comes to feedback. And almost every recruiter I know have had a bad feedback experience. They wanted to do the right thing and were met with anger, profanity, you dirty little. I know where you work threats. I mean, yeah, you do because I interviewed you for this job, right? Etc., etc., etc. You name it. It's super scary. One time I was sued for discrimination. I had never even met or spoken with the job applicant, but the moment they received a thanks for applying, we will not be moving forward with your application, they decided to retain a lawyer. It was a few weeks of sleepless nights. Thankfully, the employer had my back. Maybe I did review this, but it's still good to review. Again, we got new people in. It says, feedback may feel important, but it should not stop you from moving forward in your job search and in your life. So a friend of mine, we used to have a saying, right? When we would come across a, for lack of a better term, a crazy person, we would say that they were swim fan crazy. If you've ever seen the movie Swim Fan, I forgot what the name of the lady in Swim Fan was, but she's played some crazy roles before. I think she was also in, is it Save the Dance? I forgot the movie. I forgot the name of the movie, but it was some dance movie. Anyways, it says, all right, so I agree with this. I know a lot of people ask for feedback, and sometimes, oh my God, I can't believe I'm gonna make a case for this, right? This goes right in line with ghosting. This goes right in line with ghosting. Because a lot of times if you give people feedback, this person right here, they got sued for an automated email saying, thanks for replying, we won't be moving forward with your application. And it got sued for discrimination, right?
Bruh.
And the part of like, so now do you understand why you might even get ghosted? If you can accuse somebody who's never spoken to you, never met you, don't know you from Adam, and now you're going to file a lawsuit against them for discrimination, like that doesn't make any sense. So that's why you also get ghosted. But it totally makes sense on why companies would not be willing to give feedback during an interview or like after an interview, because you can argue with them. This is going to sound terrible, but I don't know you. I don't care about you that way to have stress and headache and get sued because I did not feel that you were, like, you did good in your interview, that you were a best fit, that you knew your stuff technically, because you can give feedback and they will start to argue you down. So when I'm coaching people, right, I do mock interviews where guess what? If I tell you how bad you did in your mock interview, fine, sue me. I don't care. Like, I'm not the one who's giving you a job, but I will use, and I can guarantee you this. I am a lot stricter interviewer than any interview. Like I'm a lot stricter mock interviewer than any interview that you will ever face. And that's because I want to scare the out of you so that once you actually get into that interview, it's like all calm, cool, and collected. But I will also give you, so this is how I do my mock interviews, right? I'm going to play the role of the interviewer, and I am going to ask you questions. We're going to go through it.
Get a move on, back to work, chop chop, let's go. Come on, get a move on. Back to work, back to work, back to work.
I will record it, and I will have you study it, and I will give you feedback, and I will give you very detailed and I'm not going to say harsh, but I'm going to say honest feedback on your performance, and so that you can work on that and you can improve it. Because I know you're not going to get feedback from the interview, because I wouldn't give you feedback. Like if when I'm interviewing people for work, I don't give any feedback to the person, because I don't want you to come and try to sue me and try to justify your case on why you were not a right fit for the company, whether it's technically, whether it's culturally, whatever the case may be. I'm just like, I just go into my system and I will put in my feedback and go from there, and let the recruiters deal with all that other stuff, right? Do the recruiters reach out? I have no idea what the recruiters do after I'm done, right? I figured if I interviewed somebody and then I see them getting hired by the company a few weeks later, cool. But whatever happens after that, I don't know. I don't care. But when I'm working with people, I will give them very detailed feedback on you. This was wrong. Like when I'm coaching, this was wrong. This was wrong. You need to answer this better, and you need to maneuver like this. One last way that you can extract some feedback although you're not directly asking for feedback during the interview, is the questions that you ask. The questions that you ask play a super, super big role. And a lot of people, they ask really, really bad questions, lackadaisical questions. So what I would do is take a question that they asked me, and then I would modify it into a question that they can answer, maybe about the company and stuff like that. And I would see how they answered the question. And then I would see how did I answer that question? And that would be like, okay, I see how I answered it wrong. Like, because a lot of times, which this is definitely going to be a Patreon video, but I see a lot of people, they're very, very rigid in the way that they communicate in their interview process. Like, it's honestly like you're answering a question as if you are in the 3rd grade or 4th grade and you are doing reading comprehension. So you're repeating the question to the person who just asked you the question, instead of just having a conversation and flowing back and forth. And, but you're not going to get that feedback from a company that you apply for, because they don't want you to sue them. They don't want you to argue with them. They don't want, like, if they're not hiring you, then they don't want anything to do with you. All right. So that, I just wanted to share that. I thought this was a very, very good, article from a recruiter not an article, but a post from a recruiter who says this is why we don't give feedback, because when we give bad feedback, then we're in the crosshairs, and guess what? Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. All right, let's wrap that one up. Let me check the chat, and then we shall get back to our last segment of work. Favor says, not the sigh. And it says, that explanation. Look, you know what, Favor?
I was gonna lie to you, but I had to tell the truth. I'm just being honest.
It's a mission. It is a mission. And Favor says, right, about the whole feedback thing. It's tricky. Like, at the end of the day, companies do not want to put themselves in positions to deal with problems that can be avoided. And if you only have to get bitten once, you give feedback, and now you have a whole argument going and with some random person, and it's like, I don't want to deal with this. We're trying to build software. We're trying to make money. We're trying to do this, and now, which guess what? Think about this. If you get into an argument and you're using profanity, anger, all this type of stuff because you gave them feedback that they asked for the feedback, and you give it to them, it just proves that you were not going to be a good fit at the company anyways. The right answer is thank you and move on with your life. But that's why you don't get feedback, because y'all ain't loyal.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Anyways, let's get back to our last segment of work for today.
It's time to do.
So after all this wasted time, we got our apply completed, the resource added, which if that had happened at the very beginning of the show, we would have been far, far, far along. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Now I'm going to go over to here, and we're going to do a refresh, and we have our GKE cluster up and running successfully. I really need to, you know what? Give me just one split second, because I should have did this yesterday, but I was so busy with a bunch of other stuff, so I didn't get a chance to. But I got a new sound effect. Let me see if I can find it. Let's go over here. Totally detouring and derailing, but we've been derailed enough, right? So I might as well just throw this in there. Let me do... come on. There we go. There we go here. And we're going to go to... All right, there we go. All right, cool, perfect. So I just had to update this one sound effect because it's gonna be really, really cool once I get to use it. All right. So let's get back to it. I would have never done this if this was a pre-recorded video, but we build it as we fly it. Let's go. All right. So we have this up and running. Let's take a look at here. We need to do our, all right. So we're going to go into accessing our, so we're going to do this again. G-Cloud container cluster, get credentials. I should do, let me do it at a different spot. Let me go to a terminal. Well, it's just easier to see in a terminal. So, let me see, CD, web, and this urban infrastructure. And we're gonna CD, let's go to G-Cloud, container, cluster, get credentials, UDC. I'm just doing it here because it's just easier to see when doing it inside of a regular terminal window and not through the application. GKE cluster, and we're gonna say location, US East 1. All right, we're in. Now, looking at our documentation over here, create a new Kubernetes service account, save the following manifest as a service account YAML, and we need to do a kubectl apply service account. So, let's go to here. All right, why is it so long? All right, so we're gonna go to ls to see what folder we have. CD Kubernetes ls. So we're gonna do all right. So we're gonna do the command for the service accounts. Let's go over here. So we're gonna do kube. Let me see what's inside our service account file first. We have the name is UDEC service account name. Namespace default. Kubernetes IO enforce multiple secrets true, and that's about it. All right, cool. So we're gonna do kube apply kubectl apply -f service account .yaml. Let's see. Service account, UDEC account created. So shout out to that. Next thing we need to do is create an IAM policy. So let's go back over here. We need to create an IAM policy, Identity Access Management, that references new Kubernetes service accounts and grant it permission to access secrets. So part of what I was talking about the IAM, you see how a lot of times in process where, okay, we're doing this, all of a sudden we need to create we need to do some IAM work. So I think that the role, like where the separation of roles of like IAM is going to be, so looks particularly like when you're looking for IAM roles, look into highly regulated fields. So such as healthcare, pharmaceuticals, banking, things of those nature, because there are a lot of times based on regulations, there's going to be separation of power. So you might be able to get a role of just a IAM engineer, but like private industries that are not very regulated, it's going to be easy for me to like as a Q engineer start setting up some infrastructure and then jump in to create some Terraform stuff to create a new role and stuff like that, right? So keep that in mind when you get to that point of working in the field looking for it. If you're not already, you might already be, I don't know. All right, so let's go ahead and try to do this, but we're gonna do this through Kubernetes or not Kubernetes, but through Terraform as well, hopefully. Let's see. So GCP secrets. Let me see. Create an IAM policy. Let me see. Before I do that, let me go over here, make sure I don't have anything crazy in this file. Nope, I don't. All right, perfect. So we are going to, because it's in the variables file. Perfect. All right, cool, perfect. So we are going to go over to here, and we have our Google Secrets Manager file, right? Let me close this up, bring this down just a little bit. And we are going to say resource, resource, and we're going to say IAM policy GCP or Google IAM policy. All right, let's just Google how to do this. Let's go over here. I'm so mad that this didn't work earlier because we would have been so much further. Oh, thanks a lot, Google. So Terraform, Google IAM policy binding. Let's do that. Let me see. So would it be IAM project binding? Google project IAM binding. Authoritative for a given role. Update the IAM policy to grant a role to a list of members. If we're looking at this one. Would that be? So this is by, let me see, create a new Kubernetes service account. So we created the service account. We did that. Create a IAM policy that references the new Kubernetes service account. A new, interesting. All right. All right. Let's try to figure this out. So we will say Kubernetes service account reference. I will add UDEC instead of that. GKE, and I'm just gonna call this SA. And now let's see what goes into this Google IAM policy. So mad. Oh my God, I'm so mad right now. Sets the IAM policy for the project and replaces any existing policies attached. Google IAM. All right, let's see. Resource, your Google project IAM policy, project, your project ID, policy data, data.google IAM policy, admin, policy data. Let me see. Google project IAM binding. So if I compare this one to member. Okay, so I think we can use this one. All right, let's take this. And let's just go over here and we'll call this. All right, let's do this. Let's get rid of that. So your project ID is, what is my project ID? Project ID is, oops. All right, that's my project ID. And the role that the documentation said to give was roles secret manager, secret accessor, and the members something is missing though. Because somewhere the secret name is supposed to be passed into it. So if we're looking at over here, something seems to be missing there. Add IAM policy binding. I could do it manually though. Let's do it a little. Let's get this to work first, right? So if we follow along with what this says, because if we can get this part to work, then let's go over here. Oh, it has to be for the secrets, actually. Just to be a little nosy, real quick. If I go here, and I say Google secrets, oh, there you go, secrets IAM policy binding. Look at that. So if I do a little bit extra search on this one, and we go here, third row given. All right, so let's see, data. So if we use this, and then policy. So let's copy this whole thing over. And let's say we put this here for now. Google IAM policy. Member, let's go here. We need to do that. Project number? It's a project number. So this one says Google secret manager. This one. This one dot project. And this one's gonna be dot secret, right? Dot secret ID. And this is gonna say data for Google policy. So we got this, we got that. So now I know we need this here, which honestly I should be able to do. Come on. I should be able to do this here. And namespace. I think the namespace is just default. Let me see. kubectl get namespaces. Oh, there's a bunch of them. But I think it's just this one that I need. All right. Let's see. If we do, let's see. Let's see what else we got. So namespace is default. KSA name. What is a KSA name? Kubernetes service account. All right, so there you go. KSA name. Kubernetes service account. Let's go with that. I think that's it. Oh, project number. All right, what is the? Let's go to. What is the Google project number? Google Cloud project number. Google Cloud project number is a unique identifier assigned by a Google project. It is usually your project ID. Okay, so let's run this command right here. Let's go over here. And we're going
Lunch break! Lunch break!
We're going to be wrapping up very, very shortly, but we do want to see what happens. There goes our project number. Drop it in there. We can probably turn those into, at some point, into variables, but no biggie. There. All right, let's get rid of these over here. Okay. Anything? I think that was everything, right? Let's go back and look at our documentation. We have our project ID, we have our project number, we have our secret name, we have our namespace, we have our Kubernetes service account information. And let's go ahead and do a Terraform. This one. Not in this folder. CD secrets. All right, let's see. ls cd gcp ls Terraform apply. Let's see. Invalid reference. A reference to a resource must be followed by at least one attribute access specifying the resource name. What does that mean? Invalid reference. Google data, Google IAM policy, admin policy data. What are you? Online 18. So let's just change this then to the actual project name. Oh, wait, what? I think I messed that up badly. Let's go with that dot that'd be name project. All right, let's try that again. It's been a while, all right? Give me a break. It's been a while, all right? It's going to add that. We're gonna say yes. All right, so that's added. Let's go back. Oh, you didn't even see what I was doing. So my mistake was I had just put the wrong thing here, and then I did the apply. It added the Google Secrets Manager policy. So if you're looking over here, define which secrets to mount. I think that we will stop right here. So when we come back next week, if our Kubernetes cluster starts up right away, we already have our Terraform for this step right here, for this policy. We have our Kubernetes cluster starting up okay. We have our service account, all right. I haven't deployed any nodes or I haven't did any deployments, any services. So we're going to be at the step for defining which secrets to mount, specify which secrets to mount as a file in Kubernetes pod, create a service provider class YAML manifest, and list the secrets to mount and the file names to mount them as. So we will work on this part we'll work on this part next week. Let me see, secrets provider class name, the name of your secret provider class object. Not sure exactly what that means yet, but we'll find out. And then after that file is done, we apply the secrets, verify that the object is created, configure where the secrets will be mounted inside of our pod YAML. I don't know. Anyways, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am going to let you guys know our final thoughts for today, what we have up next. So up next, tonight we're doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu talk on the Half Guard Halfy channel. What happened to my chat? Hold on, where's my chat window? Give me a second. There goes my chat window. Let's see. Yeah, so we'll be live tonight on the Half Guard Halfy channel talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So looking forward to seeing you there. Let me drop the link for that one more time in the chat. Well, you know, it'll be the crew, me, Henry, Naum, and Justin, of course, Justin. So I'm looking forward to see you there, talking Jiu-Jitsu, reviewing our very first competition videos. Tomorrow morning, large language models, 7:45-ish, 8 a.m. We'll be continuing with that. We're gonna start on day 2. We finished the project for day 1. We're gonna start on day 2, and then we're gonna have candid conversations tomorrow at noon Eastern time, talking about why it is so very important to be precise in your speech. All right, let me check the chat before we get out of here. Do me a favor though, if you're on your way out, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know every time we go live, and drop new content as well. Take a drop.dev. Get access to exclusive content. All right. Let me see. Check the chat one last time. Let's see. Favor says, thank you for that suggestion. That's about the IAM, where to look in those highly regulated industries, because they normally have a separation of power, so they might need to have that division. Favor also says, I heard some cloud security engineers focus heavily on IAM, managing those policies and etc. That'll be the goal without having to learn Okta, CyberArk, etc. Okta is a beast. But yeah, that is a very good point. Cloud security engineer. That sounds awesome. I'm gonna look into that role as well. That's awesome. I love that. It says I'll be back if you're still streaming then. Keep making progress. Thank you so much. But we were wrapping up. But I will be back on the other channel with my jiu-jitsu brothers to talk about jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. Junior says, great show as always. Thank you so much, Junior. And we have the one, the only Rod Brown in the building. What's up, Rod Brown? Says, what did I miss? Everything, Rod Brown. You missed everything. But guess what? I will be back every day anyhow. So with that being said, I am going to get out of here. Rod Brown, it was a cluster. No pun intended. Shout out to Google Kubernetes Cluster. But yeah, it was a mess. But I'm going to wrap it up for today, right? You guys have an amazing day. Well, what? Oh. Oksana, thank you so much for subscribing. Shout out to Oksana. All right, that's it for today. You guys have an amazing day. Tekotraf, we are out.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win, and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heartbeats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game, 'cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game, 'cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.